Hello, I'm John Fox on the channel John of West. I'm having a Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony adventure, and I took a little bit of a break. I took a fortnight off because basically I'm playing this game at the same time as somebody, and I was about 30 hours ahead, so I needed them to catch up. Otherwise, I can't have conversations about this game, can I? I'm 3 murders ahead. Anyway, I've got the Monokuma file for the monopad truth bullet thing. I'm going to just click X and pretend I didn't screw up. Oh, and I will when my controller says I can. Wonderful. Okay, apparently I'm low on battery. What have I collected so far? Just going to remind myself. Look at these truth bullets. Just the Monokuma file. I swear I was a little bit further than this, but whatever. Let's have a look near Miu's body. Miu's hands were clasped around her neck, as if she were gasping for her air. Her eyes are wide open in panic. She must have suffered quite a bit.
Wow.
Ew, that's one grody face. Miu must have suffered a lot. A vulgar death, fit for a vulgar bitch. Yeah, I must have forgotten to save.
Hey!
Stop, Kokichi. Even if you're joking, that's too far. Don't worry, we're only like 5 minutes behind. You're right.
Nothing.
You should never speak ill of the dead, no matter how much you hated them.
Right.
Even if she was a despised, pathetic, dirty cum toilet of a person. Oh, there goes my shipping pair, the most unhealthy couple ever. I suppose I'll never get Kokichi to change.
But...
What's Miu's cause of death? It doesn't say in the Monokuma file. May I? I wanted to let you know just in case it turns out to be a clue. I was the first one to log out and find Miu's body. She was still wearing the helmet, and her body was contorting into this awful position. Maki logged out after I did, and she helped me take Miu's helmet off. And then she was gone. Is that a confession? How is that a confession? Anyway, the question is the cause of death. What caused her to suffer like this? You know what? I know I literally just did this, but I'm actually not going to read it this time. There's no background. Time of death is 6:30, no injuries. So I assumed they swapped the 2 wires around. And they took some wires out. So I've had a fortnight to think about this, obviously. Okay. This was the device we wore on our heads to enter the virtual world. Some helmets still have their cords plugged in, others have them removed. I'm positive that they were unplugged after locking out. Ah, that's it, the cords. We were supposed to plug the 2 cords from the computer into our helmets. I would have had them be screwed in so they wouldn't accidentally fall out. I would have also had them color coded, but whatever. The red for consciousness, blue for memory. Glad I remembered that, because I guess for them it wasn't 2 weeks ago. You got those 2 mixed up. Who knows what might have happened. So I either think it's the plane girl or the robot. They're both sitting closest, and it's literally not going to be anyone else. Gonta, or maybe the dickhead on the bottom right are maybes. But it's got to be either the plane girl or the robot. Also, let's see how many. It's going to be a boy. Oh yeah, it's got 5 boys left. 2, you know what? I've changed my mind. It's the robot. They're not going to kill off another girl. It's Kibo's time. Yeah, okay. I think it's Kiba. He's sitting right next to her. He was the first one out. A glitch. Device instructions has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. You're so nice to you, Kibo. How dare you? I've been wondering, what was the secret of the outside world that we were searching for anyway? That's true. We got sidetracked by Mio's murder case. We never discovered what the secret actually was. We couldn't find anything at the chapel. And you found nothing at the mansion, right? No, Tsumugi and I didn't find anything. I didn't find anything either. That's probably the same with Kaito and Gonta too, right? And knowing them, if they had found something, they would have told us right away.
Yeah.
Yes, they would have, unlike you. Wow, Suichi! Did you hear that? That robot's being sassy with me. Did you know? Robots don't need warm blood to function, so they become cold like this. That's why he's more concerned about the secret of the outside world than poor Mio. He told us he couldn't even cry even if he wanted to. He went so far to stage his dramatic reaction.
That's wrong.
That's not true. I'm hoping we can discover the truth too. I'm on to you, Kibo. You're a pretty advanced robot. You can be sassy and make excuses. I mean, I thought it was him last time, but... You're so suspicious to me. You keep... like, the whole... I thought it was her at the end because I thought she could sneak past because she was so plain. And the game keeps telling me she's plain. And I feel like that's probably a Japanese word that's less awkward in the sentences. It ended up like this after all. I had a bad feeling ever since I thought I saw Mio from the dining room window. You thought you saw Mio? Yeah, so I told Suichi about it. Okay, so I said at the start of the episode I've got a friend playing this game. Well, she said, like, she's just done the investigation, right? And her theory was that the two sides of the place, because you could hear each other there and there, right? Because they're close. But maybe you could hear each other there and there as well. And maybe you could cross. Maybe it went round in a big circle. That makes sense. There's a small window in the dining room. Maybe 10 minutes ago I looked through it. And I thought I saw Mio. So you saw Mio then? Thought I must have been mistaken, since she should have been by the chapel. You're only saying you were mistaken, so you don't have to feel guilty. Huh?
What?
If you'd been positive it was Mio, you could have done something sooner. You could have prevented her death, you know. That's...
Hey!
It's just speculation, Kokichi. Can't judge in hindsight.
My bad.
Oh, we went a little off topic there. Anyway, I wanted to ask you something. What did you do after you thought you saw Mio? My other thought is that she might be the mastermind. Who's I? Who did I have the guess as mastermind? Whoever I is. Oh, me. Well, it's definitely not Miu. Because she's so plain, and I think she might have even been the first person we met after meeting each other. And she likes disguises. Well, she likes cosplay. So she might cosplay as, you know, the evil girl from the first game, whose name escapes me right now. I thought I was mistaken, but it really bothered me, so about 10 minutes later I told Suichi and why we were talking about it. Bang! Ah! What was that sound? It sounded as if something was struck very hard. It came from outside, but... I had Kibo down as the victim. Oh, I had her... No, who did I have? What is that, a T? Yeah, I heard her down as the blackened as my prediction. My predictions have been awful, by the way. I'm tempted to make my Chapter 5 predictions right now. But you know what? We'll wait for Chapter 4 to end. We heard a loud noise and rushed out into the entrance hall. For now, let's go outside and check. Oh no! What? That was Kibo's voice, right? I think I heard him outside. He sounded close. Kibo's voice, huh? Wasn't he at the chapel? He was, but Tsumugi and I were positive it was his voice. We heard Kibo from the entrance hall when he should have been at the chapel. That's weird, because you shouldn't be able to hear anything between the chapel and the mansion. Even Mio said that. You can't hear anything at all while you're inside the map loading point. Right. The sound shouldn't reach through the map loading point. So how did we hear Kibo's voice? How were we able to hear Kibo at the mansion if he was at the chapel? Maybe somebody's lying. Lying? By the way, Kokichi, did you hear the loud noise or Kibo's voice at all? I'm not sure. I must have not noticed because I was too busy searching. You're lying to his face. Okay, because the game really wants me to think it's the dickhead, Kokichi. It's not, because that's surely too obvious. So I'm just going to open up and drink. It's Peach Zero Cola. I'm not really sure about it, to be honest. It's better cold, though. Kaito. Kaido, you keep interrupting me when I talk. Do you like me or something? Who would like you, dumbass? I was interested in Soichi's conversation. My conversation? You heard Kibo's voice when it should have been impossible. Can you tell me more about that? Well, what I said before was pretty much everything. After that, we headed back to the chapel to see what happened. We saw Gonta as we left the mansion, and the three of us went to the river together. That's when we met up with Kokichi. Yeah. And then we used the signboard that I found as a bridge. What about it, though? Did you notice anything? I suppose not. I see you're working hard. Looks like you're starting to take this game seriously, Kaito.
Shut up!
Tsumugi's account has been added to the Truth Predict section of your monopad. Loud noise has been added to the Truth Predict section of blah 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 blah. Yes. Can we not just... Hey, Kibo, we heard you talking. What's up with that? You don't have to be so wary of me. I'm trying to keep an eye out in case Kaito tries to bother you. Don't take it the wrong way, though. I'm not trying to replace Kaito as your partner, okay? But I'll help you as much as I can. So where are you gonna investigate now? What's he trying to do? Why does he insist on following me around? Hey Monotaro, what's going on with you? This place is upsetting my stomach. No, you're endangering our entire existence as mascot characters.
Monotaro.
Maki was working on the computer. Her hand was moving the mouse around rapidly. You know how to work a computer, Maki? No, not really. No. I've never used this program before either. I see. Why are you so angry at me, Maki? We were just asking questions. I imagine that it would be difficult to understand unless you were an expert. But I did find a text file regarding this program. It has info about the program's basic features, but other than that, there's not much. What did it say? If you don't want to tell me, at least tell it to Suichi. According to this text file, the killing game simulator used a certain program as its base. It's called the Neo World program. Never heard of it. In this killing game simulator, objects can't break. That's important. Your body's 5 senses are connected to the avatar. Your avatar cannot be harmed. But any damage inflicted on your avatar will be transferred to your body in the real world. Okay. It matches what Mio told us.
That's
If your avatar receives fatal damage, then your real body will die from shock. From shock? This is the first time we're hearing about this. If someone receives a fatal injury in the virtual world, then they die in the real world. Well, your 5 senses are connected, so it makes sense you'd feel the same amount of pain. So it wouldn't be too surprising if you died from the fatal sorry. Fatal injury, that voice.
Oh, man.
The more important question is, why did Mio keep such an important detail a secret? That is strange. I have no idea why she wouldn't mention such an important detail. Did she hide that from us on purpose? All it says about the virtual world's basic features. That's all it's... Hang on. But that contradicts the second game's premise. That they might be able to survive. Even if we ignore the stupid anime. The second game says they're just brain dead. But they might be able to come back. You know, because of hope. And obviously they literally came back in the anime. After being killed. The rest of the virtual world is the same as the real world. Including the laws of physics. Warps and special transportation like mounts do not exist. You know mounts exist in the real world. They're called cars. So you can only move around using your avatar. You should have added warps and mounts to the virtual world. Okay, so you can't warp to the other side. That's all it says in this text file.
Thank you.
Mackie, that was very helpful. So if you die in the game, you die in real life.
But
Is the info of the text file correct?
What
do
are
you
you
mean?
talking about?
I'm not doubting anything you or anything, Maggie, but I'm just saying that file could have been rewritten. It's possible somebody rewrote the original info with false info. Sorry, I said the word info twice. No, I didn't. You know? To determine that, you would need extensive knowledge of computers.
It's my
This looks like a job for me! What?
Huh?
Don't get in the way. I won't get in the way! In fact, I want you to let me help with the investigation. Help with the investigation? Monotaro, what are you saying? Come on, please! Won't you let me help with the investigation? Ever since I forgot I'm bad with computers, I'm good with computers now! That logic doesn't make any sense. Can't, Monotaro! We're not allowed to help the participants as mascots. We've got to stick to that rule.
I don't care.
I don't give a fart about the rules. I want to help everyone. I want to avenge my dead mummy. Your mummy? You mean, why are we getting sad music?
Not that!
Moon on the water. No, Monotaro, you've forgotten again. You've forgotten that she's not our mother.
I want
And
to.
you've forgotten about the important person you need to protect. Shut up, you pig! I'm busy avenging Mummy's death. How sad. It looks like this is goodbye. I love you, but there's someone I need to protect. Goodbye.
So long.
Oh, it's just the one voice now. Alrighty then. Let's do this.
Huh?
Do what?
So what?
I don't care either way. If you want to help, then that's fine. True, I suppose. I'll do my best for Mummy's sake. Wait, perhaps we should... He's doing his best for his dead Mummy! I'm so touched! Ah! Alright, fine. I'll leave it to you then. I suppose I have no choice. I'll start analysing the computer right away!
This stinky little computer is no match for my hands!
Yeah. His hands are going at such an intense speed that the friction is creating fire.
I've already analysed a few things. Already?
Huh?
The text file is consistent with the original program. It doesn't look like it was altered. Also, I found this too.
Is
This looks like the information of when everyone logged in and out.
okay?
There's no sign that this was altered either. It's definitely accurate information. Could you show it to me? Okay. Sorry, I'm reading the screen. Everyone logged in. Kaito, Kibo, Himiko, Maki, Gonta, Tamugi, Suichi, Ukichi. And Kokichi really did immediately log out. Although Gonzo and Tsumugi and that apparently logged out at the same time, as well as those three. I guess it was a conversation. It really does have everyone's login and log out times recorded. Aside from Miu, everyone is logged in and out at once. Then it would appear that no one secretly logged out and then logged back in. Then my main concern becomes Kaito. He logged out ahead of us. No, it couldn't be him. Okay, we know it's not Kaito. It's obvious. How would somebody log Kaito out? Because he didn't go to the phone. Also, there's something else I noticed while I was analysing the program. Looks like some parts of the program were rewritten. The program's been rewritten. Obviously, Mia was the only person capable of doing that. So which files did she rewrite and what did she change?
Okay.
I'll analyse that, of course, but it's going to take a little time. Well, as long as it's done by the class trial, then Suichi will be able to avenge Miu. He's just saying whatever he pleases.
All right.
Then I'll keep on analysing the crap out of this program. You're so reliable.
That's
way more than you. Mate, the phone records. I want to know about the phone records. Can you believe Monotara is on our side now? And all this for his recently deceased mummy. I'm so touched, I can't stop crying! Dude, did anyone use the phone? The Monocubs loved her so much! I'll never forgive the culprit who killed Miu! Suichi, I've got to explain, just so you don't misunderstand. I think I should have done this first, because I think I did this before the end of the last episode. Explain what? You're talking about how you logged out by yourself, right? Okay, let's hear it then. What? Why are you? Feel free to lie, of course. Exposing lies is the real pleasure of this game, after all.
Don't screw
What?
around.
Can't I just ignore him and talk to me, okay?
I mean,
About the whole logging out thing, I don't really get it myself. When I was looking for the secret of the outside world on the rooftop, a circle lit up under me. I was suddenly sucked in. Before I knew it, I was logged out. Same thing happened when I used the phone to log out. How did that happen on the roof? What happened after you logged out? Everyone else was still logged in, but I didn't know if it was okay for me to log back in. So I just went back to my room and slept. Since it was dawn, I was pretty tired. And the body discovery announcement woke you. Yeah, that's right. I heard it and rushed back here. Do you remember what condition Mio's body was in when you logged out? Nah, I didn't pay attention to that, so I don't know. You didn't notice anything wrong? Like whether she was dead or not? Like I said, I don't know. Okay, sorry. So I just need to object to the contradiction in that testimony, right? Said I'm not lying. Tell him, Suichi. No, Suichi, in order to find the truth, you can't be biased. That is a count. Gonta,
Hey.
are you alright?
You're so dumb.
Are you still depressed about Mio? Come on, don't be such a Debbie Downer.
By the
Gonta, I want to know what you think. Rare, I know, but who do you think is the culprit? Gonta not know. Murder already happened when Gonta wake up. Gonta secretly do all the murders. Gonta secret mastermind. Gonta hypnotized people into thinking they did the murders. Why this happened? Why Miu killed? Gonta not understand. Gonta not understand anything. But Gonta frustrated and sad. Gonta no could protect Miu. Aww. He seems all over the place right now. Aw man, he can't think at all when he's like this. But Gonta doesn't seem to be lying. I'm pretty sure he's telling us the truth. But I guess big dum-dum like Gonta doesn't have the brains to lie in the first place. Don't talk to him about that like that.
I'm disappointed.
Gonta, when I first met you, I thought you'd be more useful.
Sorry.
So
Gonta,
he's so
idiot.
sorry. Gonta sorry he could no protect Miu. Gonta, if you feel that bad about it, then stop blaming yourself and help us find the culprit instead. This is the culprit's fault anyway, so pull yourself together and help us, okay? Okay, Gonta understand.
Gonta do his
Find
best.
culprit. Gonta definitely do his best this time. Now that's the spirit. Now Kokichi's encouraging him. I really don't know what Kokichi is thinking. I never thought Miu would be killed. When I saw her avatar there, not moving, I thought maybe, but... That's right,
You're right.
you saw that Miu's avatar in the virtual world had stopped moving. Me, Kibo and Maki all found her avatar. Can you tell me more about that? Any details? We were looking for the secret of the outside world at the chapel. Mia was too, right? Mia volunteered to look around the outside of the chapel, so she wasn't with us. Mia volunteered to look around outside. We searched, but we couldn't find anything. And right when we were starting to get tired, all of a sudden we heard a really loud sound outside. It must have been the sound I heard as well. Something must have hit the wall of the chapel really hard. We felt it all the way from inside. Something hitting the chapel wall. So we all rushed outside to check the side of the chapel, and we found Miu's avatar. That's when you went to log out to check Miu's real body, correct? When we went to the river, the bridge was gone for some reason. Then while we were standing around wondering what to do, you guys showed up.
Thank you.
That testimony sounded important, especially about how they couldn't cross the river. Because if they weren't able to cross, then no one could have gone between the mansion and the chapel. Then this helps us narrow down the people who could have come into contact with Mio. Who could have come in contact with Mio at the chapel. Events at the chapel has been added to the triplet section of your monopad. From what the time of death indicated in the Monokuma file, Mia was killed while we were still in the virtual world. There's something on the seat. It's a small bottle. I feel as though I've seen this before. This is yours, right, Suichi? Mine? Oh, it's from his poison cabinet. No, I guess it's not yours, but it's from your lab. Yeah, I was thinking about that recently. Maki, everyone's really defensive about their labs. It's like, these aren't your labs, you know, just because a crazy murder bear said they were. Like, they don't belong to anyone, really. That's right. This was in the Ultimate Detective's lab. It's that poison. So you know about this, Kokichi? Of course, because I already checked it. We're in a killing game, you know. If there's poisons and tricks prepared, then of course I'd investigate them ASAP.
That's...
That... Oh, it's not so I can use them. I'd check in case somebody else uses them. Is that really true? Did you see the label on the back of this bottle? The label?
Huh?
According to the warnings here, this poison is pretty lethal. It becomes neutralized once it's mixed, so it has to be taken directly. When it's taken directly, the victim will immediately die, even if they only sip a bit. Which means, if you could get the victim's mouth open, you could kill them instantly. I can't imagine a better method of killing somebody who's logged in. I should tell you what the symptoms of this poison causes. Okay, right now, I'm going to say that this has nothing to do with the murder, and Kokichi did this because he's a prick. Just to stir things up. He's being by a courier, isn't he? It causes a small blood vessel under the conjunctiva to explode, which makes the whites of your eyes turn blood red. Bloodshot eyes. That's important information. Well, that's everything about this poison. Am I doing a good job? Maybe it's time you acknowledge me as your partner. I thought I remember you saying you didn't want to be my partner. Did I? Well, sometimes I lie without thinking about it. Seriously?
Huh?
Anyway,
Not Bloodshot. Who bought this poison? Do you think the culprit did it? No, I think you did it. I don't think you murdered her. I think you bought the poison just to be a prick. Who bought the poison? I can't be certain yet. It's literally on your chair. But I do know that the poison was left on that person's chair. Small bottle of poison has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. I suppose I've investigated everything that I can here. Are you done investigating the crime scene? So, do you know who the culprit is yet? No, this might not actually be this crime scene. The injuries of the virtual world could be fatal in the real world. Meaning, there's a possibility that she was killed in the virtual world. Which means the next area to investigate should be the virtual world. We should go there again.
Huh?
I just read your mind, didn't I? I did, right? Right?
Got it.
If that's the case, then I'm coming too. Oh great, he's coming. You must really like me, huh? Say whatever you want. I don't have time to waste on you. If we go back to the virtual world, we might find some new clues. With those, I might be able to clear my name. May I join you as well? No, Kibo, because you did it. You're a murdering robot. And all you've done is just this robophobia. Now everyone's going to be robophobic because of the actions of one robot. I also think we should investigate the virtual world again. Why don't we all go? So I get to be that avatar again.
What?
So you did actually like the avatar after all.
Well...
I'm going to stay here. He's in the middle of analysing the program. Gone to search this place some more. This no time to be sleeping. That's not what we're... Well, that's fine. Then I'll stay here too. What?
Huh?
Surprise? Are you going to get lonely without your partner? But I'm busy too, you know. I have to watch Mackie in case he tries to do anything deceitful. Deceitful?
See.
Well, you and Kaito are pretty close, so you might do something deceitful for him, right? Good thing Gunter's here with me. Your glare is too scary to handle alone. Gunter would risk his life to protect me from a murderer.
Huh?
You're gonna keep saying messed up crap like that, I'm gonna kick your ass into orbit. Fine,
All right already.
just ignore him and hurry up into the virtual world. Kaito, let's just focus on solving the case for now. Fine.
Thank
I don't like violence. The ultimate supreme leader would rather sneak around. And guard.
So
So
that
anyway,
means-
I'll leave the virtual world to you, Suichi. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this class trial can only be solved by you, okay? Your talent can save the useless people here, you know? Who are you calling useless?
I
Enough
told
already.
you.
Kaito, let's go. Kaito, Kibo, Himiko, Sumugi and I are prepared to enter the virtual world. I mean, I'd be incredibly nervous about that, but whatever. We picked up our helmets once again, sitting in the same seats as before.
So the red cord goes in the right side and the blue cord in the left, yeah?
Yeah, let's do that.
Right is the hand I hold my chopsticks with. I gotta be sure to get it right.
If you're that worried, why don't you use one that's already set up?
We place the devices on our heads. Okay, the other thing is, if they switch helmets, there'll be different avatars. Possibly. Dum dum dum.
Great, huh?
Oh, it's my avatar. Look, my avatar. So you liked it after all. So we're back here.
Oh,
Apparently, we
100%.
always arrive in this room when we log in. Miyu said that logging in and out isn't possible unless we're in this room. Then how did I get locked out when I was on the rooftop? Yes, we need to investigate that area too.
What
First,
should
we're going
we
to check Miyu's avatar, right? I think our avatar is near the chapel. Then let's head out to the chapel. I should check the map before heading to the chapel. Two maps on the wall, one of the mansion, one of the world. I'll check the map of the mansion first. The first floor has a salon, dining room, kitchen and bathroom. The second is the roof. We split up when we went looking for the secret of the outside world. Kokichi had the salon, Sumugi the dining room, Kato the roof, gone to the outside. The map of the mansion's been added to the triplets section. This is the map of the entire virtual world. The world is surrounded by walls in all four directions. There's a loading point in the middle, so the map is split in two. No sight or sound can pass through the map loading point. You have to get from the mansion to the chapel. You have to go through this point. You also have to cross the river that runs parallel to it. That's how this world is designed. It's strange. I feel as if there's some secret to this. Yeah. Map of the world's been added to the triplet section of your monopart sections, John. So the trees wouldn't link up from left to right, but everything else would. But to be fair, the river links very well. Maybe if you just take the river. This map was made by me. Is that what's bothering me?
Hey,
I understand
Koichi.
looking at maps makes you feel calm, doesn't it?
Huh?
You're the type of kid who stares at maps alone instead of playing at recess, aren't you? I
No.
never did anything like that. Don't forget,
Shuichi.
we're here for you, bro.
Indeed.
Okay, so we know that she is lasting till the end of the game. Guaranteed. She's likely to hit. This is why yeah. Because she's come through her entire arc now. If you survive a murder, you get through an arc. The thing is, she's survived an arc as well, but like it's a different arc. That makes sense. You're not alone anymore. You don't need to withdraw into a shell, you know? I'm so proud of you. You've made friends with real people, not maps. Okay, not everyone needs to be an extrovert, you know? Some people just like just being an introvert. I'm
That's wrong.
investigating. Just investigating. Oh, we're actually really close to ending. Suichi, could you please come with me?
What happened?
I found something strange. I don't know if it's relevant to the case, but I want to hear your opinion regardless. It's right this way. This is toilet paper, right? Why would it be in a place like this? It's cold
That's
here.
right. Huh? Which
My initial
means-
thought was that somebody may have come here to defecate. I don't
No.
think that's it. I don't think avatars have bowel movements. I don't have to go at all. I didn't realise that. It never occurred to me that as I do not need to expel solid waste in the real world. I'm sorry. Wait.
Ah,
It's still
But-
strange. Why would toilet paper be in a place like this? Could it be related to the case? Okay, so my theory is the toilet paper was used to experiment somehow. Somebody was testing the limits of the virtual world by lobbing toilet paper from somewhere to somewhere else. And with that revelation, And a shiny thing up there that I'm not allowed to use. I'm going to let you go. I've been John Fox here in Tunnel John of the West. I've been having Danganronpa V3. I've been flipped. I'm going to have to flip my face back. Adventure. Killing Harmony Adventure. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.